ننتقل الآن إلى الجلسة الحوارية الثانية التي تتناول أبرز الإنجازات في تطوير النماذج اللغوية الكبيرة باللغة العربية ودور الذكاء الاصطناعي في إعادة تشكيل قطاع إنتاج المحتوى العربي. تحمل هذه الجلسة عنوان النماذج اللغوية الكبيرة بالعربية، هل يمكن للذكاء الاصطناعي مجاراة لغة الضاد؟ ويشارك فيها الرئيس التنفيذي للتكنولوجيا في شركة ترجمة إياد أحمد، والباحث الرئيسي في مركز أبحاث الذكاء الاصطناعي والعلوم الرقمية معهد الابتكار التكنولوجي دكتور حكيم حسيد، ومديرة الأبحاث والتطوير لشركة انسبشن جي 42 نيها سنغوبتا. وتدير الحوار كبيرة مذيعي الأعمال في تلفزيون الشرق للأخبار زينة صوفان. وقبل بدء هذه الجلسة المثيرة للاهتمام أود أن أذكركم بأن هناك استراحة غداء تلي هذه الجلسة بين 12 والواحدة ظهراً في نادي الدار في الطابق الأول، ويرجى اتباع الإرشادات للوصول إلى صالة النادي، فلتتفضلوا مشكورين.
أهلا وسهلا فيكم بهاي الجلسة المثيرة مثل ما قالت الصبية اللي قدمتنا، النماذج اللغوية الكبيرة بالعربية، هل يمكن للذكاء الاصطناعي مجاراة لغة الضاد؟ رح نتطرق بهاي الجلسة للفرص وللتحديات. طبعا بنعرف انه في رأس التحديات عندما نتحدث عن ال LLMs العربية نتحدث عن ندرة البيانات، وهون رح نحكي عن بعض الممارسات المبتكرة من بعض كبار اللاعبين اللي عندهم ممثلين عنا بهاي السيشن لتجاوز هذه المشكلة. رح نحكي على نقص المواهب والتالنت فيما يتعلق بهذا المجال التكنولوجي الحيوي، مجال المستقبل. ورح نحكي يمكن انه انتظار انه النظم التعليمية تؤتي اكلها، يعني هيدا انتظار طويل لا نقدر عليه، فيمكن نبحث عن حلول او فيكسز انترميديري متوسطة الأجل تقدر تعطينا نتيجة سريعة. رح نحكي عن دور اللغة كحاملة ثقافة، ورح نحكي عن السيف ذو حدين اللي بتمثله النماذج اللغوية الكبيرة حسب كيف صنعت وكيف ركبت. رح نحكي عن فرص التعاون الهائلة بين مجتمع التك ومجتمع اللغة ومجتمع الإبداع، ورح نحكي عن مساحات الكسب المشترك الوين وين سيتويشنز اللي ممكن تخلق. رح نحكي عن غنى اللغة العربية، تشعب لهجاتها وعملية ترتيب الأولويات، ورح نشوف الأثر المتبادل للفكر والإنتاج الإبداعي من جهة والنماذج اللغوية الكبيرة بالعربية من ناحية أخرى. طبعا ضيوفي هن الأقدر على الإجابة على هاي التساؤلات الصعبة، بما أنه عندي ضيفين لا يتحدثوا إلى الإنجليزية I'm going to be switching to English. للي بحبوا يستمعوا إلى الترجمة ممكن يستعملوا الأجهزة أو يتابعوا اللغة بالإنجليزي، رح يكون فيها شوية إنجليزي وشوية عربي. So let me switch to English and start with Dr. Hakim. Hakim, you say the global LLM adventure is still in its early stages. Why do you say that?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for the invitation. Very glad to be here. I think I hope this discussion will not be boring because the previous one was very close to people.
No, don't worry. This is going to be fire.
Good. Yeah. So the LLM adventure, indeed, in my opinion, is at its early stages, in the sense that looking at what we are doing and the level of intelligence that we are getting, probably we are destroying much more than we are constructing. Right. That's the first thing. The second thing is the brain that we are building today, the LLM, is probably equivalent to the brain of a kid of 3-4 years, right? So we are consuming a lot of data. We are actually prisoners of the data that is there, generated probably by human first, and then we are trying to find a way to combine all this data to get something valuable. So today, for example, we discuss a lot on the reasoning part, right? So the reasoning is something that, for example, the kids they learn at a very early age, like a very early stage. Something that we are not capable to reproduce necessarily today at the same level with the models that we have currently. So I believe that we are unlocking some of the challenges, but there is a lot to be done, to be built, and to be learned from this experience.
Niha, how about Arabic LLMs? How fast are they developing? I look at the story of Jace from 2023 to today, and the acceleration is really remarkable. So what can you tell us about Arabic LLMs?
Right, so first, thank you for having me here. So about Arabic LLMs, I think we started out fairly humble and with small models, small data. And our first model was released in 2023. It was a 13 billion parameter model. We call it Jace, after Jebel Jace, the tallest peak in UAE. And since then, we've come a really long way. Today, we have like 30 plus models in the open source. But it's not just us. The community has picked up phenomenally, and there are so many extremely good Arabic models in the open source and in the closed source. Parallelly, though, the closed source models, the really frontier models, have started also looking at multilinguality. They have realized that being only English-centric is only going to take them so far. So it's been parallel. On one hand, we've been building Arabic-centric models from the ground up that are not just cosmetically Arabic, that are not just superficially Arabic, but encode Arabic culture, Arabic nuances, but also we have frontier models that are really growing in this domain.
We will come back to native versus what you call artificially Arabic models, but let me ask Iyad here, and you deal with a lot of clients in the region, some of them governments, big enterprises, and they hire you to use your LLMs. How embedded is this becoming into the way of doing business in the more developed economies of the region?
Sure. So we are still at the beginning. Lots of enterprises and government, they want to adopt AI. So it's not just about the LLM, it's about the agentic system, right? So having an LLM, which is great, I mean, it facilitates a lot of users' work. I can see how emails become more structured, styled. The language is amazing. I mean, even from junior people, especially if you are working with software engineers, they are bad in communication, usually. But suddenly it flipped, right? So this is great. But building agent is the challenge. And on top of LLM, lots of LLMs, they are great actually, and most of the big companies like OpenAI, they have GPTs now. I'm sure that TII and Inception, they have like some frameworks to build problems. So yes, big enterprise, they still they are asking for this. We are solving some problems for them, but I guess we are still at the beginning. We are exploring where we can add more automation. Is it by generating more documents? This is where we. Our experience actually in generating and manipulating documents. Whether it's DocX or PowerPoint. So consultancy firms, they use this a lot, and the demand is huge here.
We'll come back to actual real-life applications. Yes. Let me ask Hakeem. So Niha touched on that not all LLMs that deal with Arabic are born equal. Some are native, more authentic. What is a native LLM?
Yeah, we had actually in the beginning when the community started building Arabic LLMs, it's basically we had a big issue with content. And obviously for training these models, you need a lot of data to get these things done. So one of the ideas that was in the community is that, see, if I have a lot of English content, and they do have good translators, let's translate all the content and build the Arabic models. I think this is mainly how people handle this part. But we noticed quickly that basically what you are getting at the end of the day is an LLM that is telling you English things, but in Arabic at the end of the day, right? So that was a bit awkward, I would say, because, well, obviously you are just training a translator in a much larger scale at some point. So then we moved to another strategy, and this is the strategy that we followed from our side from the beginning when we released the Noor, and then after that the Falcon Arabic from our side. So we take only native Arabic content, meaning we take it from Arabic, we clean it, then we build the models. There is no translation that is there, and this is where you see actually some nuances inside the models, where you see that indeed even the way the content is generated is respecting, probably at a certain degree, the way it was generated by the users behind, capturing eventually some cultural and traditional kind of, I would say, footprint within the model. So it's extremely important to do that. So instead of working only on the quantity of the data, it's important to find other ways to make these models learning from smaller amounts of data, but data that is coming natively from the Arabic sources.
We'll talk more about the quality of the data and validating that data, but Niha, I want the audience to have an idea about the seriousness of scarcity of data. Can you give me an example if I want to quantify the English data on the web versus what is available from Arabic, which is a very rich language and perhaps much richer than English? What does it look like?
Right, great question. So basically, if as an example, right, if I go online today and I just say, I want to download all the English data that is there to train my model, then I would I would be able to download of the order of 10 trillion plus to 15 trillion tokens, which is roughly words of data, right, to train my model. Contrast this with Arabic. Even today, after all of these amazing efforts by the community to collect all of this Arabic data and put it online, you would reach about, at best, 100 to 200 billion tokens, right? Which is quite low as compared to English. Even so, Arabic, as you mentioned, is a much richer language. It's got a number of dialects. It's actually much harder to learn than English is, arguably. And therefore, actually, theoretically, you need more data to learn from, which you have an order of magnitude less, if not more, in Arabic than in English.
Iyad, you were fortunate enough to have 17 years of data from Tarjama when you started working with the LLMs. Tell me how you used that data and how you grew it with an army of freelancers.
Yes, sure. So first of all, we have 17 years, worth of data, but as Niha maybe said, it's not enough.
Yeah.
So to be honest, we synthesize data also. Everyone do this. So it's not just Tarjama, we do synthesization for the data. We augment the data in a way so the model is better.